Hey, this is Garrett at Conquest Classic Cars here in Greeley, Colorado. Just doing a quick walk around and start up on our beautiful 1973 VW Westfalia. So this bus is really special in the fact that it is almost completely original paint, absolutely no rust on it, and mostly original interior. It's a three-owner vehicle, and what makes it really unique is this was actually picked up by the first owner in Hanover, Germany. I have all the original paperwork that I'll get to in just a second, but he did a European delivery of this vehicle and proceeded to drive it about 15,000 miles across Europe before having it shipped to New York and driving it all the way back to Denver. So it's got some really cool history, very well documented bus. I have a ton of receipts for it. The only paintwork that's not original on it, you can tell the driver's door was repainted, which I actually do still have the original receipt for that work that was completed in the early 1980s and at a dealership in Boulder. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now the front seats have been reupholstered. When we got them, they were a little tore up, but everything else is original in here. The dash is beautiful, no cracks. Did have a AudioVox radio swapped in, which I do still have the original receipts for that Royce and that radio there. What I'm just amazed by is just how original and clean everything is underneath here. You can tell nobody's really messed with it. Everything's original. It's been very well taken care of. I'm really impressed by the condition of the wood. You can tell this bus hasn't lived outside. This is not cracked at all. Door shuts nice. Panels all line up nicely. Beautiful upholstery in the back here. All the wood grain on the cabinets is beautiful. There's absolutely no cracks. There's the pop-up. I do have pictures of the pop-up up. There's a couple tears in the fabric there, but all the fiberglass is good. No cracking, no crazing on it. And open that up, all original paint underneath there. Like I said, no rust. Look back at the wheel wells. Now I do have receipts. The engine was rebuilt in the early 1980s at 105,000 miles. Currently has 118,000 miles on it. Motor was converted to a 1.8 liter by TMN Motors, and like I said, I do have the receipts for that rebuild. It has approximately 14,000 miles on the engine since it was rebuilt. And it absolutely runs great. Another cool thing is I do have an original Westfalia pop-up tent that goes outside here that you could put in front of that sliding door. Gives you a little extra room. I will submit photos of that to the picture gallery as well. And even the seals are still supple. They're not all dry rotted out. Interior smells nice. It doesn't have that mothbally smell that some of these do after sitting for a while. Again, looking at these fenders and everything, there's no rust bubbles, no corrosion, no cancer. This is probably one of the most solid original VW Westfalias that I've ever seen. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Okay, let's take it for a ride. Nicely, even on downshifts. All the synchros feel good. Steering play is minimal. Steering feels responsive. It tracks down the road straight. Get new tires on it, it could probably use a little bit of alignment. Steering wheel's just a little off center, but all the gauges work, all the lights work. Wipers work. Brakes feel good, pedals nice and firm. Right now, honestly, the wind noise isn't bad at all. The bus feels solid. Tracks down the road, like I said, straight. Clutch has a good catch. Feels nice and solid. There's no chattering.
There's surprisingly little noise from the back. Like everything in the back is very well secured down.
Some of these old camper buses that we've had, you get a lot of rattling and noise from the back, especially going over these bumps, but that's just not the case with this one. I mean, this is something you could take on a long trip, and the droning and the wind noise and all the chatter isn't going to beat you up and tire you out before you even get to where you're going. I just turned the defrost on. Heater works good. drive. Shifter's tight and solid. It's again couple of these you drive. The shift forks are all worn out and the shifter feels really sloppy. That's not the case of this one. It shifts tight. Just tell it's been a well cared for original bus. I think we'll end the video here. Thanks so much for watching today. And if you have any questions,